Hello, friends, family, and fans. We are back to bring you the fourth Tribal Council of Can You Survive Tides of War? Filing in behind me in the next few moments will be the Quadi tribe, the last tribe that has not yet been to Tribal Council. They are the Orange Rookie tribe, and they will be making their way into TC for the very first time at some point. All right. And here they come. Reminder, we are going to tune into this tribal council and then wander off ourselves so that you can ask me any questions you want to ask. And then we will come on back for the vote reveal and exit interview. So, all right, let's spin you around so you can see the players in all of their glory. All right, they are making their way down this bridge to our tribal council area. And we'll be coming through their torches. A fun little detail, these torches have their names on them, so they have their own individual torches.
Come on in, guys.
All right. And here they come, slowly but surely making their way to the tribal council area. Again, this is the Quadi tribe filing in for the very first time. So we have Kevin R., Dylan, Molly, Drew, Meg K, and Dan. They are now settling into tribal council.
All right, Quadi, welcome to your first tribal council. A few items before we fully get started here. If you are the one that gets voted out, you do have a torch here with your name on it. Grab it, bring it here. Unfortunately, I'll be snuffing it. Second order of business is try to be as loud as possible for the live stream. If you think you're too loud, I promise you, you are not. Want to make sure everyone at home has a chance to hear and understand what's going on for you in the game. The third item of business is we're never going to hide anything fun at the voting booth, so don't waste time kind of messing around with anything. Just kind of get in there, do your vote, and enjoy. All right, we'll get started. This is never a fun place to be, Molly. How is kind of the feeling entering into your first tribal council? Are you nervous? Do you feel like your name has been thrown out at all? Anything like that?
I think it's safe to say we're all pretty nervous in just terms of we don't have a lot to base this on. This is our first time coming to tribal, and we have only really participated in 2 challenges as a tribe, so it's really tricky to say one person's name over the other. We definitely have come a long way and bonded really closely, so this is a real tough one for us. But definitely surreal just being here with the torches and everything, and pretty cool.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about how the actual as the rookies. It's your first time having to do that. Was it chaotic? Was it organized? How kind of did you decide who got to talk to who? What were your kind of observations?
Yeah, I think we kind of handled it like rookies would. It was very diplomatic. We made sure that everybody had a chance to talk to everybody. And I think that was mainly just because it was kind of awkward to go straight from like having fun for hours on end to like in half an hour you have to vote somebody out. Like that's kind of daunting. So I think we were all just really nervous and hesitant to really say anything. So having everybody have the chance to talk to everybody was really good for opening everyone up, and that sort of got the discussion started. And towards the end, yeah, we were talking strategy because you have to.
Okay. Do you feel like towards the end it came to sort of a consensus, or there's still 2, 3, 4 plans kind of up in the air, and you could see this going any way?
It's hard to know. Left out, so you never really know if you're in the know or not.
You know, last night
So last night, I think that we all had a pretty good guess that we would be separated into different. We were split up, then we became even closer. So
You're good. You're good.
okay.
Okay. In terms of Dan, in terms of charity aspect of this game, I mean, how much of that is making this decision even more difficult? Are you factoring that into the vote at all, or is that just kind of another element to think about?
I mean, we didn't talk about our charities at all when we were discussing like how we wanted to vote, but like my charity is really important. Like it's a big reason that I'm here. It's a big reason that I'm playing, and so I'd really like to see them, get a lot of money out of this. So like the thought that that I could end up out like really early kind of sucks.
Yeah, is that a real thought for you? Or
Oh yeah.
Okay. What kind of confidence did you have to dissuade folks from that?
I mean, I just tried to like pitch and things like that, and just try to do my best to show my value and like what I could bring moving forward.
Okay. Kevin, what do you feel like this tribe is more deciding on? I feel like first votes can go a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's just, basic, who didn't really fit in a little bit more. Other times it's, hey, we need to make sure we're winning challenges. Obviously, I don't want to point at any fingers, but there was a potentially
that's the reason why votes might go my way. You never know. I mean, you're being told one story and there's 5 other ones going on.
Okay. Dan, you were shaking your head. You don't feel like Kevin's in any danger here?
Not flop at the challenge, and I mean, it was a really weird situation. Like after watching the veterans, like how long it took them to see that other tribe just like crush that like logic part, like that is not on you at all.
Dylan, it's only the first vote, but in a game like this, you really kind of have to think long term. Are you kind of, as a group, maybe, approaching this vote by vote? Or are you thinking, hey, there are people in this group that I could be with for the next 4 days?
Yeah. Well, we're the last tribe to go to tribal council, so that does mean that we are the best tribe.
Okay.
And so sort of by that metric, I think we have a luxury of taking it day by day. No, but actually, I don't know. It's we're all rookies. I'm a rookie, and this is already like the 4 tribe split was already so rattling that I feel like I can't really even begin to think of an end game because I don't know. I haven't quite yet. That makes sense. And so I think tonight's vote is about what I believe will take us forward the next step.
Okay. Meg, Dylan brings up the fact that, you're the last one to get to vote. Specifically, the other rookie tribe already voted. Now, I would assume there were bonds and groups sort of forming in that 12 that maybe you're aware of. Based on who they took out, is that impacting kind of how you approach this vote at all?
I guess personally, I didn't really think about that. It didn't really impact my thought at all, but I do think it makes sense to focus on the challenges that we as rookies are going to be participating in and hopefully winning, where like if we do end up all coming back together at some point, you know, we could be rookie strong and have good strength there at the end of the game.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, I don't really have an idea what's going on. I hope you all do. Does anyone have anything else to say before we get to the vote? No? Okay, we're going to start from the right side. So we'll start with you, Meg.
All right, and with that, the Quaddie players are heading off to vote, and we are heading off as well. Apologies for it being super glitchy. It is a hot day, and my phone was kind of overheating, but now I have a giant ice pack, so I've been icing my phone while y'all watch. So we're just gonna step away as we always do during this very silent voting period so that we can have our little catch-up chat. Reminder, you are always encouraged to ask any questions that you have, and I'm happy to answer them. Okay, let's see. Let me get you to where you can see me instead of just some grass. All right, behold our lovely area. Okay, so we are just heading up this hill, and then we will be catching up shortly. Okay, me and my little ice bag are heading to the shade so that hopefully does not happen again. But we do everything we can here for you, our fabulous stream viewers. So, all right. So here we are back at this weird bush that I was at before. Just give me 10 seconds to get situated and bring out my little notebook full of tea for you. So again, we are far enough away to where none of the players can hear us. So this is our time to get to catch up. Kind of again, I'm like a nothing burger of a tribal council in terms of their answers. However, this notebook would say otherwise. So let's dive right in. And again, feel free to ask any clarifying questions as we go along. So this is again the Quaddie tribe, the final tribe to go to tribal council that had not already been today. And it consists of Dan, Drew, Kevin R., Molly, Dylan, and Meg K. So right off the bat, I want to let you know that it would appear that Kevin R. and Drew are a tight duo. It might not be as obvious to the rest of their tribe that the two of them are buddied up, although I am told that during this last tribal challenge, as they were just awaiting the sliding puzzle portion, they were like clutching your hands together like nervously and this and that. So maybe someone picked up on it, maybe not. TBD on that, but they would appear to be a tight duo. Speaking of tight duos, we have a common theme today where again, we have one duo that isn't maybe quite a duo because one person definitely seems to think they are, and one person definitely doesn't appear to know that. So for all you Survivor fans out there, if you're feeling someone, maybe make sure that you know, and maybe make sure that they also know. So in that we have Dylan and Molly. So Dylan is feeling like Molly is his number one. Molly has said she feels good about Dylan, but has not at all mentioned like an alliance, a duo, a final two, like no sort of agreement on her end. So she's like vibing with Dylan, and Dylan is like in the Molly Stan fan club all the way. So interesting for that. Let's see. So that brings us to the two players that we have not yet talked about, which would be Dan and Meg K. So let's see. According to Dan, he's feeling super on the outs, thinks it's him at this tribal council, feeling like the fact that he sat out of the challenge possibly cost him the opportunity to bond with his other tribe mates. As you know, that was a pretty long challenge and required some teamwork and some camaraderie and some encouragement and celebration. And so, you know, it's hard to set out a challenge and kind of just watch by and be powerless. And speaking of challenges, Meg K is apparently targeting Dan because Dan is apparently claiming to not be good at any facet of the challenges. I guess allegedly he's saying that, like, oh, I'm not good at puzzles, oh, I'm not good at running, oh, I'm not good at like this and that. So Meg K is kind of like, okay, but then like, why are you out here if you're like, if you have nothing that, like, you know, to contribute in the challenge regard. But I will say, okay, sorry, the drums just stopped and it was dramatic. But I don't think that's my cue to go back yet because I see a player voting in the voting booth, so we good. Okay. Not good at challenges. Oh, so speaking of kind of all of that, I will say this tribe does appear, and Dan will attest, that they all seem to get along really well as a group. Pretty kumbaya-y as far as like cohesion, which we kind of heard, I think it was Meg K touch on the fact that, like, hey, like, no matter who gets voted out, like, maybe they'll come back and let's be rookie strong moving forward. So they're feeling good about each other as a group. It's just that certain people, I think, you know, in any group are potentially on the outs. Let's see. Back to Dan. Dan is pushing Meg K's name because of challenge performance. Meg K did struggle a little with that tile matching portion of the challenge, had to go back and forth several times. You know, and so of course that always causes a delay. Also, speaking of Dan, he is feeling pretty good about Kevin R. and Dylan. And he's hoping that perhaps he is voting with them, but not entirely sure. Apparently he's good at picking up on vibes because Kevin R. does in fact feel good about Dan as well. And Kevin R. is apparently currently debating on whether or not he wants to pull in Dan and potentially vote out Meg K. Of course, Kevin would pull in his tight duo of Drew and vote with Dan to vote against Meg K, kind of just deciding on whether it's worth it to pull in a player who appears to be on the outs, because maybe they'll be loyal in the future. So don't know exactly who it's going to be, but that is all I've got for you, and that is perfect because we are now being signaled to head back to the Tribal Council area. So let's head back in and learn the outcome of the vote, and me and my handy dandy bag of ice will head back in with you. All right. I can see Cam in the distance with the voting box, so we are good to go and find out who will be the next one voted out but not eliminated from the game just yet. So let's flip you back on over so you can come back into the Tribal Council area with me. All right. Here we are. And again, if it glitches, I'm sorry. I'm going to keep going until it comes back, so just bear with me. We're doing our best out here on this Wi-Fi connection with absolutely no cell signal whatsoever. So that's the story on that. All right, in we come with Cam. I'm going to walk slightly faster in case that will make a 3-second difference in our scheduling.
Okay, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play one, now would be the time to do so. All right, I'll get to the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person will be asked to leave the Tribal Council area immediately. First vote. Meg. Second vote. Meg. Third vote. Dan. Fourth vote. Meg. Fifth vote. And the fourth person voted out of Can You Survive Tides at War? Meg. That's enough. tribe has spoken.
All right, and Meg, you're gonna come on towards the left with me. We are still live, so in a few moments, once we're far enough away, this will be your time to kind of share any thoughts that you have. Awesome, our viewers will love to hear those thoughts. So we're just heading back over here. Unfortunately, maybe not in the shade, but we're just gonna wait for them to file out so that they're not listening in on our convo.
Yeah.
So let's maybe, actually, I mean, if you want to go in there and be in shade, feel free. We will maybe do it from here. All right, right there's good. If you want to drop your stuff, player's just gonna file on out behind me, and as soon as they're out of earshot, I will let you know. All
I
right.
thought it was too easy. Well, I think I definitely went out too strong, too fast. I was pretty confident, like out in the naturey stuff, because that's kind of what I do for a living. I was trying to hold back, but it's too hard to do that. And then everyone was like so confident they were gonna vote Dan because, you know, I was the first person I think that I said Dan's name. That's probably my fault as well. But I thought it made sense. But you know, it's okay. It's just life.
Yeah, it is just life, and you did live a lot of life out here, making it most of the way through the second day of this game. Lots to be proud of about your time out here so far. Would you like to share maybe one thing you're particularly proud of about yourself?
Yeah, I'm really proud at how I did in the challenges. Like the first round, I found the clues, and then the second round, I felt like I was pretty helpful. So I definitely felt like I was able to contribute more than what I expected. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, before I let you go to No Man's Land, you're playing for an incredibly worthy cause. So this is your chance to shout them out and let the viewers know who you're playing for.
Shout out to Acasisco School. Hope y'all are watching. See you on Monday. Yay.
All right. Thank you so much, Meg. I'm going to go ahead and hand you off to your handler, Barry, who will get you on over to No Man's Land. As a reminder to the viewers, Meg is not out of this game. They are heading on over to the No Man's Land area with the chance to get back in this game. So let me turn back around to see you one more time before I sign off right now. Okay, one thing I forgot to tell you guys. Well, I didn't forget. I did forget, and I was rushed, so it went away. So I'm told that, okay, so Meg K apparently was doing a lot of foraging in the forest. That's what she was kind of referring to, that like she does something and couldn't help it. But she was doing a lot of foraging apparently, which everyone thought meant she was idol hunting. And so that was kind of another reason that I think some of this tribe was willing to put votes on her. So just a little bonus tea tidbit to end this stream. We are going to go ahead and be setting up our next challenge so that we can come to you shortly. And yet again, I'm just going to walk over to our host Cam so that we can figure out when we are going live again.
It's all set up, so we're just going to collect the tribes and get it ready. I would guess 10-15, hopefully.
Awesome. So looking like a 10 or 15 minute break and right back at it with the next immunity challenge of this game. So keep it locked here, turn those notifications on, and we will see you so soon.